Hey guys, I want to tell you a little story about my personal history in business. Back in the 90s, when I first started my business here in Greensboro, North Carolina, my Plaster restoration company, I would, I got into computers just a little bit. I was using a word processor and the word program. The previous company that I was working for actually took an estimate with me and used that as my template to create my own estimate that I would then fill out, put the customer's information, my contact information, details about the job. Then I would break it down room by room, tell them exactly what I was going to do and how I was going to do it. I would total it down with labor and materials, put my terms, and then I would print that and take it to them in person. I found over and over again my customers were very impressed. At the same time, my competition was doing nothing of the sort. One client said that this guy just scribbled a number on a piece of paper and handed it to her. They were not impressed, okay? So the way that you do business, whether you're doing plaster repair, plastering, painting, drywall, handyman work, contracting, tile, whatever you're doing right now, the way that you come across to your customer is really important in terms of actually getting the job. Because in the end, it doesn't matter how good you are at something. If you look unprofessional and you look haphazard, people are not going to have the confidence in you to hire you, especially if there's an alternative, somebody out there that does things better. So there's a lot of things that I have done with my business since then to create that professional aura. One of the things I did that really stepped up my game in the last 6 months, I got a estimating software. Once I got used to the interface and started using that, I found that it did a lot of things for me that I was having to do manually. Like, for instance, I like to know my customer, how expensive is their house. I like to know that this is not a little $50,000 rental property. Actually, let's just show you what it looks like, House Call Pro. So if I go to housecallpro.com and I log in, it's going to take me to my dashboard. On my dashboard, I've got a couple of modules that kind of give me where I'm at a glance, kind of keep me up to date. Upcoming jobs that are scheduled here. Invoicing, things that have been paid, things that are due. Today's stats. Open estimates, ones that I have not received an answer, yay or nay, from a customer for. This module will show me how many I've completed, how many I've scheduled, how many are unscheduled. Here are the estimates I've created, the number of estimates that have not been accepted and their value, and the ones that I've lost and the ones that I've won. And this is a pretty neat number right here. This is the conversion figure. It shows you how many of the leads that you've gotten, of the estimates that you've done and sent out, how many of those percentage-wise that you've won. So I've won 40%. That's pretty good. Now, I'm just on this simple plan, which allows me to see all of this and do all of this, but it allows me to do more. There are two other levels of plan. There's the modern and there's the advanced. The modern is probably the way I'm going to go eventually, but let me show you really what we can do right here in the simple plan that is really awesome. The first thing is, if I want to create a customer, there I just click this and I can just put the customer's name. This is when somebody calls me and I'm here at the computer. I'm able to do this. I'm going to go ahead and put Jane Doe and her email. I'm just going to put mine, and phone number. I'm just going to put any phone number, and then the street address. That's going to get all my stuff filled out. I can put some notes there. I can put some customer notes about the customer that I may want to include. And I just create the customer profile. Now my customer profile is created, and I go to create an estimate. Okay, so here's my estimate template. But what I can see right away from the customer profile is the value of the home. Just Jane Doe's home value is $1,619,000. So I know it's a good customer, and that I'm going to be able to charge what I really think my job's worth without fear that they're not going to be able to pay it. So that's really kind of gives me some encouragement to know that. I can call directly from here. I can email directly from here. I can see the history of my interaction with this customer from here. I also see a map which I can pull up. And I can put tags in here. There's a lot of little things you can do, but after I talk to the customer, I'll schedule the estimate. So today, this lightly grayed out area is today. Say I want to do it tomorrow. I'll just bring that right over there, click on it, and I'd say I want to do it at 1 o'clock. The estimate will end at 2, so that's okay. And I can confirm that. Then if I save it, it will notify the customer. Okay. It's actually going to go to my email notification. When you scheduled the email, this is what the customer receives. And they have the date and the time that they know that you're going to be there. Then I can let the customer know that I'm on my way on my phone. But I would click that when I'm on my way. I'm not going to notify anybody. On my way. And when I get the estimate done, I just click finish, and that's when I've gotten all the information, and I've gotten back home, and I've put it together, and so that's what I'm doing right here. This is how you do that. So if I do it, living room, plaster, ceiling, and so the ceiling is 15 by 20, and that is approximately, that's 300. Whoops, not 300. Not 3,000, but 300. Click that. And that's how many feet we have. And I go ahead and just do work includes 2. This is the way I do my estimates. You can change this. And then you can just go ahead and put line items in there, move, protect furniture, any of the, I just break it down to all the things I'm going to do in that process, and say that process I'm charging $12 a square foot. Automatically calculates the amount that particular job, that particular room is going to cost them, and it brings it down here for a total. And you can add another room if you want to, and maybe it was the dining room. I can't spell. It's 12 by 15. So up here, I would just copy this, and I would paste it. And then I would just change any of the line items as I needed to. And then I would put the square footage of whatever. If it's more than one thing, there's ways that workarounds, okay, for this. If I've got linear feet and square foot, I'll just give them a blended square foot price or quantity price. So 12 by 15 is 180. And say that's $12 a square foot, or maybe in this case it's 15 because we're doing something else. Okay, I don't know. So it totals that up. There's the total, and then here materials and overhead, and that for me is just a percentage of this number right here. So I'm going to use 20%, which is what I usually do, and I get $12.60. And there they have their total, subtotal, total. You can offer a discount if, for instance, they don't take the job in time and you want to offer a discount to get a job scheduled. You can go and do that. You can discount a dollar amount or percentage. It's either way. Cancel that. Down here you have any information you want them to know. I have a few things about moving furniture and things like that. And I've also put terms and conditions, which you'll see later, that will show up. So when I'm done with that, just click send estimate. And this is what the estimate looks like. And you can see the quantity, unit price, amount, totals to this. I can actually go over here to estimate settings and not show the quantity or unit amount. That just disappears, right? But you have a place for your logo, their address, your contact information, the amounts right up here, date, blah, 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 everything. And then I've got my terms and conditions. They can go and see that if they want to click on that. When I hit send the estimate, I have this option to go ahead and give them a little letter, a little note, a little message, and I usually adjust that. And then I can send the email. Now we're going to go and see what that email actually looks like that they receive. Okay, so I've sent the estimate, and here's what the customer sees. And they have an option after they see it to approve it or decline it. and we'll just decline it so it doesn't show up in my stats. So if they approve it, I get to copy it to a job. Copy, yes. Now we can schedule the job, and we can just say we want to schedule it for next week, next Tuesday, for instance. And we got a time, change the time to say 9:30 a.m. Okay. And it ends at 4:30 p.m. Confirm. We're going to send that to the customer, save it. The job has been scheduled. When we get ready to do the job, we go on our way. We'll do this. It notifies the customer that the job was started. If you sent some people out, start, and how long it took when it finished. It finished like that. Notify the customer that the job is done. And you can invoice, and here's an invoice. And if everything looks good, no changes, you can email or text it. I'll just say email and send the invoice. You can actually personalize the letter here to them, which I typically do. And then once you've done that, you send the email. They can pay by credit card or they can pay by check. And either way, if they're going to pay either way, you're going to notify them. So I would click paid here if they pay by check. I'm going to cancel that, and we'll just go quickly to look at what we sent to the customer. All right, so the job has been scheduled, and that's the email that they got for that. When the job was done, the invoice was received, and they can pay online. So House Call Pro has really helped me up my game and give my customers a wow experience. My favorite features are the on my way text notifications, the automatic Zillow home value, the directions via the app. I don't have to put that address into Google Maps or anything. It just goes directly from the app to Google Maps and takes me right to the job site. Or I can dispatch it to somebody else who's working for me, and they have all that information right there. The Facebook group with all of the helpful pros there, and the Whiteboard Wednesdays, and the mastermind events, which I attended my first live mastermind event with House Call Pro in Atlanta last November, I believe it was. And it was so awesome just hanging around with all these other pros, listening to speakers on different topics of pertinence to companies like yours and mine. So if you are in the service industry and you're still running your business with paper and pen, or even worse, scribbling a number on a piece of paper, or you might even be doing Word docs and emailing them or bringing them in person. That's better. That's what I did for years. But if you use House Call Pro, you can get that done quicker and deliver it quicker. I know that I can because I have everything in one place. And it saves me time, and all its features, such as the online booking, the email, the different apps that are available as you go up in levels, help to grow your business and give your customer a great experience overall. Click on the link in the comments below to schedule your demo today and up-level your game and get out there and win. Take care. Bye.